But come January and February, is there a team in the AFC, let alone the NFL, that you trust more than the Kansas City Chiefs? Because me personally, I just don't. So it looks like the Kansas City Chiefs are back and they're establishing themselves as a legitimate Super Bowl contender. They're winners of 5 of their last 6. Patrick Mahomes is playing at a really high level. In 4 of his last 5 games, he's thrown for 3 or more touchdowns. In one of those games, he's thrown for 4 touchdowns against the Baltimore Ravens. And when I look at this Kansas City Chiefs team, they're starting to round into form. And the observation that I had about this team in the preseason, which was my Super Bowl prediction being the Kansas City Chiefs, you're starting to see that round into form. And what I mean by that is you're starting to see them, hey, Patrick Mahomes, this is your team. Let's rock out with you. You're going to lead us to the promised lands. They needed to let Patrick Mahomes cook, and cook is what Patrick Mahomes has been doing. He's been incredible ever since they started off 0-2. Ever since then, Patrick Mahomes has played at such a high level, and this defense is playing at such a high level. In the AFC right now, what team do you feel better about than the Kansas City Chiefs? You would say the Indianapolis Colts, and I think that that's a very valid answer because they have been playing really good football, and you do need to give them the credit where it's due. But come January and February, is there a team in the AFC, let alone the NFL, that you trust more than the Kansas City Chiefs? Because me personally, I just don't. And I think that I'm warranted to feel like that because they've been to so many Super Bowls and have won so many Super Bowls over the past 7 years here. And when you look at the rest of the AFC, to me going into the season, it was Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore were the teams that I thought were going to be contenders in the AFC. I don't believe that the Ravens have a chance of being contenders in the AFC, even with Lamar Jackson coming back. I just don't think the defense is good enough. I don't think their roster as a whole is good enough to contend in the AFC, so I'm not even thinking about them. I think the 3 teams that you're looking at are the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, if we're doing a tier list, I would go Chiefs, Bills. Like, if you're watching on the video version, like Bills right here. And then I would probably go I would actually go Colts and then Bills. Like, I think there is a gap, even though the Kansas City Chiefs are 5-3. They have earned the benefit of the doubt. And like I said, over the past 6 weeks here, 5-1 in their last 6 games. I mean, that is impressive. And when you look at just this offense as a whole, it's starting to round into form when you talk about Patrick Mahomes and the weapons that they have. Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, Travis Kelce, Juju Smith-Schuster as your 4th option. I mean, that's very good. They run the ball pretty well. Patrick Mahomes over the past 5 games, ever since that Eagles game, has completed 70% of his passes in 4 of those games. Over his past 4 games, he's completed over 70% of his passes. He's throwing for over 7.8 yards per attempt in every single one of these last few games. And when you look at the last 3 games, 8.6, 8.2, 8.8, they are opening up the offense for Patrick Mahomes, and he is showing why they need to be doing that. And to me, when you look at the NFL MVP race, we're going to talk about it. I think Patrick Mahomes right now, I have him as number 2 on my MVP ranking. You guys will figure out who my number 1 is when you guys get to that portion of the video. But I just feel so damn good about this team. And I think they play Buffalo on Sunday. I think they're going to win that game because I just think that they're a better and more complete team. I think offensively, their skill players are better. And I think they just have a better defense than Buffalo. Like, I think that Kansas City, just pound for pound, player for player, is better than Buffalo. And now they're letting Patrick Mahomes be Superman, which is something that I said they should have did a few weeks ago. After that Detroit game, I was like, let Patrick Mahomes cook. You're seeing it. This offense has been so much better since they've let Patrick Mahomes do his thing. I mean, you talk about going back to that Baltimore game, 37, 28, 30, 31, 28. Like, those are the score totals. That's the amount of offensive points that they put up. And then when you look at the attempts that he's had, 37 against 37 against Baltimore, 41 against Jacksonville, 30 against Detroit, 35 against Las Vegas, 34 against Washington. He needs to be in that 30 plus range of passing attempts, because I can tell you this, when the ball is out of Patrick Mahomes' hands, defenses are like, thank God. That's just the way they think. When you put the ball into the hands of Isaiah Pacheco or Kareem Hunt, they're like, cool, we'll live with that. Because the likelihood of an explosive play when those guys get the ball in their hands compared to when Patrick Mahomes has the ball in his hands is way less, right? Like, I think teams respect the fact that Kansas City can make some things happen on the ground. But is it an explosive run game? No. And I think more so the run game is good because of the fact that you have teams so worried about Patrick Mahomes lighting them up over the air that you're going to see light boxes. I mean, I don't have the percentage over, in front of me, but you have a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, you're going to see light boxes, because if you play heavy boxes against Patrick Mahomes, he's going to go for 400 yards against you. So it's kind of like Dallas in a way, where their run game is good because their passing game is good, right? And I mean, I'm blown away with what they've done recently. And when you look at, what Patrick Mahomes has done ever since that Philly game, I mean, he's had an 100 plus passer rating in 4 of the last 6 games. I mean, that's outstanding. He's a QBR going back all the way to that game. 52, 70, 76.8, 83.5, 89.6, 61.4. I mean, he's playing at a very high level. 17 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, 4 touchdowns on the ground. Like, they're letting him do his thing. And he's proving why he's the best quarterback in the league. I was one that said Josh Allen, but what I've seen Patrick Mahomes do recently, and kind of readjusting my thought about Patrick Mahomes, where it comes to the point of like, hey, it's not that Josh Allen was a better quarterback. It's just that Patrick Mahomes, his offense, the way they conducted offense, didn't let him go and be the best quarterback in the league. And now their offense is, hey, Patrick Mahomes, go be the best quarterback in the league. Go make things happen. Go make our offense better because of you playing at a high level. And to me, yeah, I think he's definitely a guy who can absolutely win the MVP this year. And I think that it would be like, if he wins the MVP, it would be warranted, because like when you look at the Kansas City Chiefs schedule, I want to go look at their schedule here. And I want to really get a good gauge of what they have coming forward here. They have Buffalo on Sunday. Wow, they actually have some tough games coming up here. Buffalo on Sunday at Buffalo. They have at Denver versus the Colts. If they go 3-0 in those games, Patrick Mahomes is going to be, like, to me, the MVP frontrunner. And he's going to be able to cruise to another MVP. Because then after that, he has at Dallas, or the Chiefs have at Dallas versus the Texans, who they have a really good defense. But Chargers at Tennessee versus Broncos, at Raiders. So it's actually a pretty difficult schedule going forward. But I mean, the Chiefs, to me right now, if you were to ask me who I think has the potential to win the Super Bowl and who I feel like the best about at the current moment, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, I look around at the rest of the league. You have the teams on the NFC side of things. I mean, like, I feel good about the Los Angeles Rams. Like, I think they're probably the best team in the NFC, if you ask me. Like, I just think week in and week out, they've been the most consistent team in the NFC. I'm not sold on Philly. I think there's a lot of fool's gold there. Trying to think of some of the other teams in the NFC. I like Seattle. I like Tampa Bay, even though I think just like Philly, there's some fool's gold there. But I don't love any of these teams on the NFC side outside of the Los Angeles Rams. And my preseason prediction was Rams versus Kansas City in the Super Bowl. And I think that's probably going to end up being the case here.